Hey guys, welcome to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to start a new series today on fat loss killers. So we're going to run through a short list of the top things that we as coaches see that really do impede fat loss and progress when they probably don't have to. They're easy mistakes to make. And the first one, of course, Adam, always has to be inaccuracy of tracking. And we talk about this quite a bit, probably, but I don't know if we've ever talked about it this directly and outlined exact things to watch for. So without really going through a lot of unnecessary background, I'll start and say that the very first thing I think that people need to reconcile is how every single calorie does count. I can't tell you how many clients over the years will come back and say, yeah, when I was working with you before, I wasn't counting this or wasn't counting that, or I might binge a little bit to not tell you. And that stuff just matters. I'm all for flexibility and intuitive eating, all those things that have a time and a place, but you are a competitor with an exact goal and you have to nail it like any other athlete would. And food is the biggest medium in our sport. So how do you have that conversation and how do you really zero in on this direct need with your clients, Adam?
Yeah, so it comes from teaching people from the start. And I know you and I both require daily meal logs upon someone starting our program. This doesn't only let us see the foods people are eating, it lets us see the measurements and also the values that they're correlating with that food. Now, I know there's MyFitnessPal and all these great apps, and I'm not opposed to moving people to those, but those apps are just so automatic that a lot of mistakes can be ingrained into that data that you just don't realize. It's, pre-programmed, bread servings, pre-programmed potato servings. It could be off. So I like to see people weighing in grams, especially if they're in contest prep, not using things like Walden Farms that have zero, caloric value on the bottle. But we know that it tastes so good that it's just a lie. So it can't be nothing. So looking at that is very important. And then explaining to clients why some of these inaccuracies happen. Why is it important to weigh a slice of bread? Well, when you look at how much bread shrinks and contracts when you cut it, even through the manufacturing process, how often do you see 20 different shapes and sizes of the heel of the bread? It's because the yeast doesn't always expand to the right amount all the time. So your bread, if you're eating 3 or 4 slices of bread a day and you just put 1 slice of bread, that speaks a different language to me than saying 28 grams of bread. 28 grams, we're eating the same slice every time. And if you're eating it 4 times a day, we know it's 28 grams each time. The inverse of that is 1 slice. Well, I don't really know what 1 slice is because bread shrinks and contracts quite a bit.
You bring up a great point that so much of this is difficult to be accurate with anyway, that if we're throwing then our own errors on top of that knowingly, if I have that extra bite, if I have an extra ounce of protein that I think, well, it's just protein, it's fine, and don't track it, and those things add up throughout the day, not only is it going to always make your data completely inaccurate, and you're never going to have a great representation of what your physiology is capable of, but you also end up denying yourself the times, for example, between meals, like how much space you really need to tap into body fat. Could you be losing a lot faster or cumulatively over time, a little bit faster that adds up? Those are the things that make a difference from somebody who has a really great experience. It's predictable. The results are consistent and boom, it's done. You move on and you improve. Those people who languish and struggle all the way through, this is always the number one factor.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see it all the time with clients that know how to track. And that one time a bad habit gets in, you don't realize you're doing it. And that's kind of important. And I think that's all I really had to say about this one.
Yeah, well, and this is the number one fat killer, but we have a list to go through. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next episode.